Hey folks, Quilly18 here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Aurora 4X. So in the last episode, we did a bulk of design on some of our new military ships, and I actually started building some of them at the end, but soon after that, I noticed that there was actually an error in my design. There's a couple of things I'd forgotten to do in my haste. I had forgotten to set, well, if we look at the Edo 89 over here, I'd forgotten to set the deployment time. I'd also forgotten to keep an eye on the maintenance stats over here, and as a result, we'd have a ship where the morale would start to drop after 3 months, which is pretty short. Military ships don't really need very long missions, but 3 months would be too short. Not really enough time to get to most places, and the annual failure rate was going to be very, very high, and in particular, it didn't actually even have enough spare parts to repair its biggest systems over here. So I've gone ahead and built a B variant of the Edo over here, which is our main missile boat, our main missile destroyer. I've also gone and finished the design for the analog light bulb and the Knight. Now, originally, you remember my designs, I was aiming for around the 5,000 to 6,000 ton mark. I've ended up with ships that are a bit larger than that, so a bit more than the design. So I'm sitting around 9,000 tons for the Edo 89B over here. And also, by that, as a result of that, going quite a bit slower as well. But this is also a fair bit more powerful of a design than the last ship. It has actually 8 missile launchers instead of, I think we had 4 or 5. It does correctly have the 24-month deployment time. It still has a pretty high annual failure rate of 132%, but it does have enough spare parts to repair everything. The destroyer here actually has the highest annual failure rate of any of the other ships. If you look at the analog light bulb, which is our destroyer leader over here, so it's clocking in at 9,400 tons. It's only actually got one active sensor as well. It's only got the active ship detection sensor because this military jump drive, especially since I needed to increase its capacity to 10,000 tons basically to allow it to pull everything in, is quite heavy. But here we go, our analog light bulb here does have the main ship sensor over here. It's got a couple of CIWS. Its annual failure rate is sitting at 100%, which over the course of a year, a piece of equipment on average will get smashed. It has a passive thermal sensor as well, which I hadn't included in my original design, or I wouldn't have had room to include in my original design, and I do want this passive sensor. I don't think you need a passive EM sensor because your active sensor is an active EM something or other, it's got that built in anyway. So I'm probably wickedly over designing these ships. It's almost certainly the case, but what the hell. And annoyingly, the analog light bulb, of course, doesn't actually provide any planetary protection value, whereas the Edo does, even though the Edo by itself can't actually shoot or do anything. But my people down on the planet don't know that. They just see a whole bunch of guns. And then we've also got the Knight, which is our destroyer escort. This is the one with the anti-missile missiles. It's the lightest of the bunch, and it has 104 annual failure rate. It's got the deployment time of 24. It does need a lot of spare parts because it's got the passive anti-missile scanner right over here, so it can detect missiles. It is a fully functional anti-missile ship by itself. It doesn't actually need anyone else to shoot down missiles, but of course the whole point of this existing is to protect other ships from those missiles. So I've got the 3 designs over here. The first round of Edo 89s did get done, so the sort of useless ones were done. They're currently in orbit around Earth. They're just going to hang out there and chill for now. Earth, I'm just retooling the Sarvoth shipyards for the B variant of this, which is just going to take 3 more months. 4, whatever, math. It's going to take a few months to retool for that, and then we're just going to refit the ships to this variant, which is going to be pretty pricey because it's a fair bit of a bigger ship, but hopefully it'll be okay. Meanwhile, the Todman over here, I'm going to go ahead and retool it for we need the analog light bulb to be able to jump through things with the actual battle fleet. Now, the battle fleet may not literally be the first thing that jumps through the wormhole. That's an interesting question, actually. But you know what? The analog light bulb can always ferry people back and forth. If all I want to do is jump my scouts, right, my geological and grav scouts through the wormhole, the analog light bulb can bring them through, and then it can come right back, which is what's going to happen. And therefore, the only thing that I'm risking are a couple of scouts while these guys stay parked inside of my own solar system just to defend it in case anything crazy happens. That's it. There might not be anything crazy on the other side. I'm just being ruled by paranoia. All right, so we're going to retool for the analog light bulb over there, which is good. I don't think our civilian shipyards need to be doing anything right now. The arrow shadow could continue to increase, but I think at 60 it's going to sit pretty good there. Research-wise, what am I doing? trying to get a discount to future shipyard change operations. We've also finished the tech to increase the rate at which you build ships, which is going to be handy. And we're going to get some extra sensor stuff. I've realized like a big part of why the ships had to be so big is because it turns out like the sensors, and I did, you know, maybe I'm over designing the sensors, but I made them really, 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 really big for the distance. And so if we can get a little bit more efficiency there, that might be nice. All right. So let's turn on auto turns over here. So we do have a couple of ships, and they are providing PPV, which is making the moon happy. They were complaining that there's not enough protection. Well, now I have some ships. They can't really go anywhere for very long, and they can't see anything, so they can't shoot anything, but they sure as heck look scary in orbit around Earth. Political reliability, finish that tech. Did you have another tech queued up after that? No, you don't. We do have a lot of labs. Because there's this. Is the active one not in the queue? Active grad sensor. Oh, it's someone else. Okay. Oh no, I've queued this to the wrong person here. Okay, Curtis. Oh, tons of stuff. Well, some of this is right. Okay, Curtis has got a ridiculous amount of logistic stuff queued up, and that is what she's supposed to do. I'm actually going to bring her up to something like 5 labs so she can research those at an appreciable rate. George Jackson, go ahead and let's backfill. The beam fire control rate is going to be nice for later versions of the CIWS. Max tracking bonus versus missiles. I'm actually not sure if that's something you need to include in your design or if that just gets built in the future, but we'll grab some of that here and some planetary scanners and just more of this stuff we're going to have ready to go in the future. All right, I'm okay with this. 5-day turns. So we're just waiting for Sarvoth Shipyard to finish its redesign, which could probably go 30 days at a time here, actually. Oh, that's something I did not show you guys. Mars has all of its oxygen. Look at this. Its oxygen is currently at 0.1009 atmosphere. Just needed 0.1 or higher. Now it has sufficient oxygen. Unfortunately, it's still too cold on Mars, and the amount of oxygen has to be 30%. It has to be under 30% to technically be like properly breathable in a good environment that doesn't just set you on fire. So right now we're just generating greenhouse gas because the greenhouse gas is increasing the temperature. You see the base temperature here is minus 48 Celsius. We're already up to minus 37. We have to get to minus 10 or higher to be within the appropriate range for humans. But also these greenhouse gases are taking up more and more of a percentage of the atmosphere and bringing down the oxygen. I think when we hit 0.1 over here, the oxygen was like 98% of the atmosphere or some damn thing like that. So we're bringing it down by pumping out some safe greenhouse gases, which, I don't know, I'm thinking is mostly carbon dioxide. I don't know, maybe not. I guess that might not be that safe. Maintenance facilities done on Earth. So on Earth, if I did the math right for the new size of the ship, yeah. So the Earth can maintain objects in orbit that are 10,000 tons or lighter without using any of the supplies of the things that are in orbit over there. So, I mean, I guess I could move my ships over here into their own battle fleet, but they're about to get rebuilt soon anyway, so I'll have to reorganize them after that, more or less regardless. So yeah, let's go in 30-day little chunks. Some techs are finished, although I think they still had stuff in their queue. Yep, that's still fine. Neutronium, a lot of things are ending. Ah, there we go. Retooling has completed. So, this is going to be expensive, but Sarvoth, I need you to refit the Ido 89s. So start with the original one, add a task. 74% of the cost of the new ship. Yep, at least we get to save 25%. It's really annoying. We're basically the same as building a new ship. But that's because the new ship we're building it's twice the size of the original design, and most of what's in the new design is just like a lot of extra tech. Well, that overhaul was fast. That's seriously true? Now you finish your overhaul, but now you're refitting. Yeah, all right. Okay, storage, techs. No labs. No, we're good. Keep teching forward. I'm gonna go in 30-day chunks here. Jump points. Yeah, so we finished our entire... No, we didn't finish our jump point survey, but we have discovered a bunch more jump points. So we actually didn't talk about that. I did unleash my grab scanner in between episodes here. And so, for example, right here, there's a jump point. I think that's the nearest one to the center of our system. So we've got, yeah, 1 is here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 jump points in our system. So the one that is nearest to Earth isn't that near. It's out by the orbit of Saturn over here. So there's a good distance. Actually, what is that distance? Could be quite telling. So about a 500 million kilometers to go from Earth-ish, wherever it happens to be in the orbit, it's right there now, to this jump point over here. I don't think the jump points do orbit, but this is a place where if we have a ship with a jump drive, or if you build a jump gate, you can go through here. For now, we're going to have our fleet equipped with a jump drive do the work. So we're waiting for... Oh, actually, the Todman 10 Marine shipyard can actually build us the very first analog light bulb. As soon as we have one, we can start jumping through those bits. Okay. Ooh, Uridium's out on Mercury, but that's fine. They have lots of extra stuff on Mercury. That's not the original reason why we settled there. More tech, but we still don't have any idle labs, do we? Oh, no, we do. I wish I told you right away that, like, we completed a research, and by the way, explicitly making, like, there's nothing left in the queue. You now have this many labs sitting idle. Would be really handy. Construction production is still such a popular area, but it's starting to get really expensive to do some of these things. Really expensive. It would still be nice to save time and money on our shipyard operations, so I think I'm going to go ahead and get that. We'll see if we can get a few more ranks of that, because we're doing a lot of that in the future. It'll end up saving a lot of minerals and time going forward. New colony ship that was designed by some civilians. Okay, that's lovely. Fire control, sensitivity, no labs. Just waiting for some ships to get done. Now, I think while they're being refitted, they're still technically in orbit. Yeah, because the moon's not complaining about anything. So they're still providing their PPV during the refit, which is really nice. Maple Syrup A has no missions, no things left to scan, at least not within 10 billion kilometers, which presumably just means none at all. So the Maple Syrup, why don't you run yourself to check out the jump points, huh? Go ahead, return to Earth. And we're going to cancel your orders. Because once we get our analog light bulb, I'm going to send him through... I'm going to send the Maple Syrup through a jump point. Ooh, a bunch of labs idle. Alright, that's good, that's good. I mean, more power and propulsion is always good. More sensors are always good. And that was part of our cost. What about the logistics here? These maintenance modules and things like that? You know what, let me crank this up, because I think this logistics, first of all, we have a lot of things queued for her. She's mostly just working one lab for a while. I'm going to give her a bunch and she can burn through this, and I'm hoping that it gives us more ways to make our ships not break down in the future. Because that would be nice. Yeah, I'm going to get a little bit more sensors and fire control over here, because it's quite good. And then I think we're going to dedicate a bunch of labs back to power again. Because one of the ways that you can continuously shrink your ships or make them better is just by having more and more powerful engines. Because then they can go faster, but also you can design smaller engines so that they take up less space and keep going like that. So we're going to grab some more of this, because we're going to want more of this later on for our CIWS. And more planetary sensors. We're going to queue that up. And we're going to get the next level of EM sensitivity and active grav sensor, because whenever we get around to designing our next level of ship, we're going to need that stuff. Maple Syrup completed that. Oh, dead meat. Right, there's no surveying left for the dead meat. Dead meat's finished everything. So our dead meat is our grab scanner. So go ahead and cancel your special orders. And just go ahead and go to Earth and refuel. Also, you're technically a military ship, so being parked around Earth, you're going to get your maintenance and everything taken care of for you. Okay, that's done. We've got that. Have you requeued? Nope, we've got a bunch of labs. So what did we just finish? Shipyard operations. Oh, yes, the construction and production over here. Okay, which we still always want more of. So we have the ability to build a jump gate right now. It takes 180 days to build. We can research this version, which will only take 150 days. We can also reach the small version. It's a lot smaller, but it takes 360 days to do that. It's not a smaller jump gate, it's just a smaller module. We probably will want to get the Sorium Harvester at some point. We're actually quite lucky in our system in that Venus has Sorium on the ground, so we haven't had to build any orbital Sorium Harvesters, but that might change in the future. This is really expensive. Really expensive. But I'm going to go ahead and queue that up. We're not going to go for the next research level for a good long time. That's really wicked expensive. But yeah, we'll get a little bit more mining going on. Okay, how's our actual ship production coming along? Shipyard tasks, almost done the refit, almost done that build, excellent. I might build 2 analog light bulbs in a row before we go and switch over to the escort. I don't know. Mobile Earth Battalion. But you're back to researching. So our Geo-Survey and Grab Survey ships are currently parked around Earth. We're just waiting for the ability. Refits are done. And then I think we just need to wait until the light bulb. If the light bulb finishes, we can use the light bulb, park them at a jump point, send our survey ships through there. They might get killed, but at least at this point, it means we're going to be in the position where we're going to have missile ships. We're not going to have any anti-missiles, although we do have CIWS on both of our ships. So if we send someone through the jump point and it turns out that they get attacked, we're going to be able to do at least a token defense if they decide to chase back through the jump point, which they may not. They may not be set up for that. 5 days at a time here. No unrest on Mars. Still getting overcrowding. How's the temperature getting on Mars? How's the global warming? Okay, minus 30. We're getting there. Research into salvage module, and we're starting a new thing. Yep. So we got our tractor beams, which could be handy. We're still flinging lots of rocks to Earth right now. Although some of these things are going to start running low. A bunch of freighters got built by our civilian corporations. I could probably go 30 days at a time. When is this ship going to get built? 23rd of October. Oh, okay, well, we're basically there. More civilian mining colonies. Makes me very happy. I mean, whether it gives me money or rocks, either way is pretty good. All right, so the maple syrup and dead meat, they've been getting their shore leave around Earth. It's all very good, very valuable stuff over here. But now we've got the analog light bulb. So let's go into our fleet design. So we're going to grab these 3 ships over here, and we're going to move them into a new task group. We're going to name this task group. This is going to be the Soul Defense Task Group, more or less. All right, so they're going to train. This is their task force training. The longer they're together, the more they'll train. They'll be able to do more stuff together. We are going to, for now, though, send them on a quick little mission. This Soul Defense Task Group, you're going to go to Jump Point 1, and you're just going to hang out there. Move 2. I don't know what the difference with picket is. You're just going to move over there. Because then what we can also do is we can tell the maple syrup to move there. And the dead meat to move there as well. One thing with the jump drives is I did design them big enough to do a full squadron jump, but that might not literally be required. Okay, we just have to wait for the Soul Defense Task Group to arrive there. They're certainly slower than the Scouts, but that's because they're huge. Like 10,000 tons each. Okay, so everyone is currently sitting at this jump point. And what that means is the maple syrup, even though it doesn't have its own jump drive, I can tell it to pop through there. Same thing with the dead meat. Go ahead and pop through. Is anyone as nervous as I am? I'm very nervous. Okay, let's just go turn off the auto turns. Just skip ahead 1 hour. Boom. Okay. Doesn't take an hour, but just some token amount. So we have jumped to Wolf 359. Boy, I hope the Borg don't show up and decide to destroy the entire, Terran Federation over here. So, Wolf 359. What kind of information do we have about this system? That's odd. I was pretty sure I have all the DLLs. I can normally open this. Hold on. What if I go back to Sol and open this? That's really weird. I might just have to restart the things, because I definitely have that DLL. I can normally open this stuff. Oh! Everything went to poop. Let me reload. You go away. You do this. You reopen. Select. Open the system view. Okay, there we go. Okay, there's that. And I can open this thing. No! What? I have file! I've always been able to open this view before. Crap. Alright, I'll have to check something else out. Because I wanted a list of all the planets in here. That's weird. Anyway, we don't know anything about these because we're a million miles away. And for all we know, there could be aliens over here. We have no clue whatsoever. So we're going to give our little dudes here, the maple syrup A. You're going to get your commands. You're going to survey the nearest body. And yeah, if your fuel runs out, you're going to try to refuel the colony, except right now you actually have no ability to jump back. They've been stranded in this other system. If need be, I can transit my battle fleet through and then provide jump access back home. But for now, this is going to be their job. Is simply going to be to survey the nearest body. And the dead meat, you are going to go and survey the survey locations. So where are they right now? This jump point is very far out. Really far out. There's not a whole lot going on here. And let's display... What do I want here? Okay, it's got lots of asteroids. Tell you what then, I'm going to, rather than just go to the closest body, which is mostly going to be asteroids, I'm going to explicitly send the maple syrup A to Wolf 359A2. Because that'll send them to the planets on the inner system. Oh, there's a 1. Really? Where's the A1? Whatever. Do a geological survey there. Where's the body info? It's not the sun, is it? Oh my god! That is a very close orbit. Okay, that'll be fine. Let's go one day at a time. Which isn't going to be very fast. But it's pretty fast. Well, we haven't been exploded yet. So that's a good sign. You've made it all the way to the inner system. You haven't been exploded. Probably there's nothing going on, but we'll see. And we've got a bunch of inactive research labs. Power and propulsion. What we're going to do, Laura, we're going to get you to research a few of these cheap things, just so that we, technically have them. Because they're fast, we may as well advance it. There are things we're going to want later on, so it's not going to be a bad thing to have kicking around. A little bit of that, a little bit of reactor boost. Capacitor, we're not using energy weapons, so we really don't need capacitors, because even our CIWS, it's not a laser-based beam weapon. So then we'll start working on the tokamak fusion reactor technology. We're going to pick this up, and I think it will unlock a new tech of engine, which we'll want in the future. It's still going to be a while away, but there we are. One day at a time. There you go. You're finishing things up. No minerals yet. Okay, let me go 5 days at a time over here. We seem to be perfectly safe. Ooh, there's minerals here too. What do we find on Wolf 359A? Big numbers, not huge on the accessibility. 1.6 means our ultimate mining rate won't be fantastic, but there are big numbers there. So if we start to run low, especially of boronite, it might be worth making a mining colony here just because of the sheer amount of that. Overall mining rate would be slow, though. Okay, so can I open this now? Huh. Might need to reboot my system or something. I'm not sure. It is annoying me because I would like to see a list of all the planets in the system, and that normally works. Oh, well. Anyway, they're just going to keep doing this. There's nothing for us to really think about. Oh, what I need to do back home is... I didn't have to change solar systems or anything. The Soul Defense Task Group, go back to Earth. Just refuel from colony, but mostly you're just going to sit there. And do I have to tell anything about, doing training? I mean, you seem to do it on your own if you're not doing anything else. Naval organization. Average fleet training. No, I guess they just do it on their own if they're just hanging around. I don't know. Seems to be the case. Wolf 359. Soul Defense Task Group completed orders. Right, so they're hanging around Earth again, which is fine. Completed shore leave. They're fully rested. Yep, that makes sense. Reactor technology has advanced. Woohoo. Discovered a new jump point. So we'll discover all the jump points from here. Now, one of the things we can do, assuming that I don't get another one of those errors, is not the sector. The screen? It's not this. Is it this one? This one, galactic map. And if we shift click, there we go, we can drag things around. And is this not where I would tell things to lock and organize themselves? Because we can see the links over here and where we've got fleets and whatnot. No, because it's already open. Planets, surveys. There we go. Survey locations visited. 7 of 30. System bodies surveyed. So there's 30 potential jump points. We've discovered 7. Well, 30 spots that could reveal jump points is what we found over there. Okay, and then there's a sidebar. But yeah, there's a way to sort these. Systems with active fleets and stuff, and all your systems. It's very handy. Oh, there we go. Grid size. Need quite large. There we go. There we go. So they'll snap. This will start to look really good once we've got more of them. Then save those positions, please. Okay. And then we'll start to end up with a galactic system map over here. We don't know where these systems are relative to one another. It literally doesn't make any difference whatsoever. The only thing that matters is how they connect to one another. And in fact, they're all one jump apart from each other, basically. Okay, well. Maple syrup, eh? Look at that. You've left the Sol system, all y'all. Oh, we got a moon with some minerals over here, too. What are we looking at? Good accessibility, but not a whole lot of rough stuff. Great accessibility. We'd mine it out very quick, especially the uridium, but at least it would get things going. Colony ships being produced. Now, I don't think civilian ships ever have jump drives. So we could build jump gates or keep ships parked at the jump points. But then we can send civilians through here. We could establish a colony on another one of these planets. Now, wouldn't it be really nice if I could actually open the galactic view, which we've looked at many times before, or not the system view, I should say, and get a listing of all the planets and based on, how accessible and how livable they are? That's really, really makes no sense. We've got the potential colony view over here, which is different. Wolf 359, 2, has a colony cost of 2. Does it list my gravity for this somewhere? Go to body. That's not what we're looking for. It's got 14% oxygen already. I mean, it's low on pressure overall. We need to generate more gases. And it's too cold. But that's not bad at all. Max colony cost. Yeah, so we could change this. If I change this like 15, we'd see Mercury. And a few others. It takes more work to terraform these because they're starting from further away, but it's not impossible. That's really interesting. We could set up a colony there. And colonies just mean more money, more money, more money. I think what we'd want to do is probably set up some terraforming ships. Now that we have bigger engines, build a giant civilian terraforming ship and just park it out here. Okay, expanding that. Let's go to 30-day chunks here. I feel at this point that this is not a system that is inhabited, which is nice. So the stats are, if there's a planet in the system that I enter that is really habitable, more habitable I think than Wolf 35982 is, then there's a 30% chance that there will be people living there. And with a society, a trans-Newtonian empire that may or may not decide to blow us up. We finished constructing all the backup of missiles on Earth, which is groovy. I don't think we need to queue up any more of those. Oh, we haven't started building the... Hang on. Stop. We haven't started building any of our anti-missile ships. So if we're not going to build another analog light bulb, which I don't think we are going to build another Edo, though. I want a third one. So let me queue up one of these. Where's my name list? The Cyrillotish is going to be another actual missile boat. So just one here, even though it's got 2 slipways. And then at Taub Marine, we're going to retool for the Knight. Pretty pricey retooling there. I'm tempted to get a third naval shipyard, but I don't think so. So we'll go ahead and set that activity. It's going to be just as expensive to retool for this thing as actually building the ship. And I'm really wondering if I shouldn't build a second command ship first. But I really mostly just want this one battle fleet. So I guess we'll have to do that. All right, 30 days. So these guys are just going to keep rocking around here. Oh yeah, the other planet. With lots of moons. Wow. Very wow. So this is Wolf 6 with a lot of moons, which might end up having stuff or not. I'm tempted to send the maple syrup to... Actually, let's do that. Maple syrup. How's it going? Surely, if everything is good. I'm going to send you out to Wolf 6, which has all the moons. So just go to Wolf 6 itself, do a geological survey there, and then it's going to default to doing surveys of nearby bodies, which will be the moons. So Wolf 6 itself, what do you got? Okay, you're presumably a gas giant. You have 200,000 units of sorium with good accessibility. That's nice. It's total accessibility of only 2. So again, you're not mining out just tons and tons of stuff very quickly. But we'll be mining it forever. That I don't mind at all. It's very nice, very sexy. Plus, we could drop geological survey teams on these spots and maybe get more. I think we can even drop them off as is. And it's a little bit cheaty to, like, let's say I go to one of these moons. Wow, you've got a lot of moons. So this moon over here, which has got tons of stuff, what a great place to mine. We're going to actually want to start mining this sooner rather than later. The downside to mining in other solar systems is we can't just mass driver this stuff. We would actually have to ferry things back and forth using cargo ships, which of course uses fuel. But one of the things we might want to do is actually set up a full and proper colony, not just, you know, with some people that we can tax, but actually a colony that's got the ability to produce goods and whatnot. So let's say I decide to create a colony on Wolf 359A6, which is Moon 4, and do that just so we can get a better look at it. How's the environment here? You have no gases whatsoever. Oh, it's low gravity. So we will never be able to colonize it properly. The gravity is too low. This is a microscopic little tiny moon. Okay, so I mean, we could do it with orbital bases. We could do it with underground storage, but mostly we're going to want to do it with automated mines. But then, yeah, we've got nowhere to ship this to. Now, if you just put automated mines on this system, on this planet, then what will happen is the minerals will accrue over here. So we can stick automated mines on there now, start to get a giant stockpile, and then just send massive ships from time to time to pick things up. I don't know what we want to do with this guy. I think for now what I'm actually going to do is just abandon this. So we've got Wolf 359A6. We're going to abandon it. Are you sure everything's going to be lost? Yes, I'm sure. Really, really sure? Yeah, I'm really, really sure. Make sure you don't have Earth selected accidentally when you're doing this, but there we go. That was just that one moon. I don't think Van Beesbrook we ever set up anything on there. And we really should. Earth, do you have another mass driver? No, you just have the one. Go ahead and build me a mass driver. And then we're going to ask a civilian to ship that off. Oh, it's going to be done really fast. 5-day cycle? 5-day cycle. Excellent. So, and Earth, do you have automated mines kicking around? No. We could build more, or we could just ship them off some other piece of rock somewhere. Because what I want to say on Van Beesbrook is I want to say I would like one mass driver to be deployed here. Please and thank you. And, I don't know, 50 automated mines. So I'm going to demand those things. And on Earth, we will supply one mass driver. But yeah, we don't have anywhere for the automated mines to come from. I don't think I want to pull them off of Mercury. Now, some of these are starting to run low on minerals. It's 2.4. It's starting to run down a bit, and we have a huge stockpile because we're actually producing too much. You know what? We have 121 mines over here. I'm going to grab 50 of them. Is that what I asked for on Van Beesbrook? 50. Perfect. So over here, we're going to offer up a supply of 50 of these. And then the civilian ship will be responsible for carting this stuff around. Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. Well, we're going to wrap this up here. We are going to go and explore more bits. We're probably going to make jump gate construction ship. Actually, why don't I make that now? Presumably, I don't have to design anything, right? Jump gate. So not jump drive. Jump gate construction module. It takes half a year. It takes 200 bornite and 400 sorium, which isn't that much. It's rather heavy. Just adding this gives us a 50,000 ton ship. But that's okay. I don't even care about its speed. I'm just going to use this one because it's a really efficient engine. It's going to take so long to do its job that obviously the amount of time it takes to go there doesn't really matter too much. Let's just plan for maybe a 2-year cycle over here, which is honestly overkill, because this mission is probably going to be go out to a jump point, build a jump gate, return home, refuel and stuff. I wonder if he even has to get the supplies. I don't even know if morale matters for this. But let's say, you know, we'll plan a 4-year mission, and we can probably get you to build all the jump gates, one after the other, and so on and so forth. How's your fuel? Your range is huge, because this is such a fuel-efficient engine. You are not a military ship, so we don't need to worry about maintenance bays or anything like that. Yeah, I like this. Let's give you a name. You are going to be the Mr. Kreider 420 over here. Is going to be our jump gate construction ship. Do you not have... The jump tender is something completely different, where you don't need to build jump gates. Do you have just construction ship? Construction ship, there you go. That's what you are. And then we can go here. And the arrow shadow, which has never done anything, so it'll get an instant thing, will be retooled for the jump construction ship. Oh, it's got the J in there, so construction ship, it assumes we want the jump ones. That's good. And go ahead and build one. We're just going to... Actually, they will be numbered, because these are sort of like freighters and whatnot. We're going to add a task for that, which is going to be good. And we will want big freighters to ship things from the other system. We're going to hold off for now, though. All right, I think this is a good spot. We're going to go around, we're going to build jump gates within our system. So these jump gates will allow ships from our system to leave our system. We've got a small defensive force around Earth, just in case anything decides to follow us back through the jump gates once we've sort of activated a system over here. You're being retooled for the night, and then we're going to build one of those nights. And we are currently building the Cyrilatish, the other missile boats. We'll have 3 missile boats. We have 1 command cruiser, or 1 command destroyer, and we're going to have 1 anti-missile destroyer as well, which is the fleet that I'm looking for, and that fleet's just going to hang around Earth, just in case. The other thing I'd like to do, and I don't know how we do that. Can we refit a PDC? Oh, we can! Excellent. We're getting wonderful errors. Probably, because we have no non-obsolete PDCs. So we're going to want to replace the PDCs that are on Earth with actual real technology that is useful again, because right now they're completely obsolete, and that will be another way to defend things. So thanks for watching, folks. Next episode, we're going to keep scouting out these other systems and see what we might run into. See you next time.